Harold just laid out the case, basically, that there has to be some intent there. How do you prove intent in a room where there are two versions of the same story, and one guy says that the president said, "I hope you can let this go," and then the White House comes out moments later and says, "We never said that. We basically said General Flynn is a good guy, but we never instructed him to end any investigation." How would you prove obstruction of justice there?
I think it'd be two things. One, you'd look at the credibility of each of the people in the room telling their version of the events, and I think it's not a close call, the credibility that Jim Comey has versus Donald Trump's credibility. That's the first thing. The second thing you do is look at all the circumstances. Why is it that the president asked the vice president and the attorney general to leave the room? Right. If he was proud of what he was about to say, if he thought it was appropriate, it seems he would have been happy to say it in front of them. And then I think you connect the dots with what he did afterwards. So the president asked Jim Comey to drop this investigation. Jim Comey not only doesn't drop it, he expands it. The Justice Department sends new subpoenas to Flynn's associates a few weeks later. And then what happens? The president fires Comey. I think you'd connect all of that and say, tried to stop this investigation. When it was clear he couldn't stop it, he then fired the guy leading it. And that looks a lot like a much more, it looks like a pretty convincing case.
Does it look that way to you, Jeremy?
It looks obstructy. That's an adjective.
That's where we are.
I don't know if it fulfills the legal elements of the crime. And look, ultimately, at the end of the day, as Joe and others pointed out, it's not really a legal issue when you're talking about the President of the United States.
The president also has to be curious now, and if you're working for the president, one thing you should know, to your point about an evidentiary trail, everyone should take memos, write memos after they meet with this president to ensure that you protect yourself in the process.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.